Hello everyone and welcome to my channel Make It Yourself. Today we're going to make this little heart with wings, and you can gift it during Valentine's Day as a token of love. You can modify it into a keychain. You can also use it as a car hanging over the rear view mirror, or you can even make it into a necklace or a long chain. So the options are unlimited. The things required for today's project will be available in the description. So let's get started with the pattern. So we start by making a magic ring and then make a chain of 1. After this, we are going to make 6 single crochet into this ring. So second single crochet, third, fourth, fifth, and the last one, sixth. So after the 6th single crochet, we are going to pull the tail yarn and close the ring, and then we are going to slip stitch it to the first stitch. So we'll put our needle under this V here and then pull the yarn and make a slip stitch. We're going to chain 1 now, and into the same stitch we're going to make 1 more single crochet. Then into the remaining stitches we are going to make 2 single crochet in each of the stitches. So by the end of the round we should have total of 12 single crochets. At the end of the round we are going to slip stitch it to the first stitch and then make a chain of 1. So for this round we're just going to make 1 single crochet over each stitch. So by the end of the round we will have 12 stitches. Slip stitch to the first stitch and then chain 1. So here we're going to leave a long tail and then trim off the yarn. So at the center we have another tail yarn. This tail yarn we are either going to use a needle or a crochet hook, and we are going to stitch it in to the existing stitches. So we're just going to pull it through the existing stitches, and then after we have done it for a few times we will trim it off. So we'll turn it inside out, and this is one part, the top part of the heart. So we'll make a similar one. So this is the first one and this is the second one. So for the second one we will not trim off the yarn, and we're going to join it to the first part. And here from the tail yarn we are going to count 3 stitches, and on the 4th stitch we are going to make a single crochet. So we'll make a single crochet here, and then in the next 8 stitches also we are going to make 1 single crochet in each stitches. So a total of 9 single crochet we will be having from the starting of this one. So you'll notice that by the time you complete the 9 single crochets you would have reached the other tail yarn. So at this point what we are going to do is, on the other side we are going to count 3 stitches, and on the 4th stitch we are going to make 1 single crochet. So we obviously are going to crochet it around, but before that we would like to use the tail yarn in the middle and stitch off the gap that is currently there in the center part. So we use a needle, and then for the center part we align the stitches and we just go through stitches on both the sides. So we stitch from one end to the other, and again we go back till we reach the starting point again. So once we reach the beginning point again, we leave the tail yarn and we go back to our crochet hook. So here what we'll be doing is, we have made one stitch, and from the second stitch onward we will include the tail yarn also and crochet over it. So this is the second stitch, third stitch. So we'll make a total of 9 stitches on this side as well. So we're just making single crochet, and while doing that we are including the tail yarn also. So we can trim off the tail yarn after we have crocheted over it for some time. And here we are completing the 9th stitch. So here one round is complete. Now this is the second round. So we make one single crochet and then another single crochet, and it is better to mark the center part. So the first stitch of this round we are going to mark it using a different color yarn. So we just pull a pink yarn through our first stitch so that we know this is where we started our round. So this is our second stitch. So here too we are going to just make one single crochet in each stitch. So by the end of this round we will have 18 stitches in total. So here as you can see, we are reaching our center part here, and this is the first stitch where we had marked using a yarn. So we'll take that out, and from this, for this round we are going to make our first 7 single crochet. But before that, let's mark our first stitch again with the same yarn. So we pull the yarn through our first stitch, and we have already made 2 stitches here. So with the third stitch, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here is the 7th stitch. So after the 7th stitch we are going to make a decrease. So in this decrease we are going to just put a hook through the front loop of 2 stitches and pull through it and pull through it again. So now we are going to make again another 7 stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. So after 7 stitches here too we are going to make a decrease. We put a hook through the front loop of 2 stitches, and we'll have 3 loops. We pull through 2 and then pull through 2 again. So we have reached the center part again. So here we're going to make 2 single crochets for this round. So this is the first 2 single crochet, and let's mark our center stitch again So we move our pink yarn to our first stitch here. So for this round we are going to decrease after every 2 single crochet. So we have made 2 single crochet, so we're going to make a decrease now. So we take the front loop of 2 stitches and pull through them twice. So our first decrease, then again we going to make 2 single crochets and then a decrease, two more single crochets, and then a decrease and 2 more single crochets and the last decrease for this round. So this is the last decrease for the round. So for the next round we are going to make 6 decreases. So we are going to make a first decrease, that is the first 2 stitches, then the second decrease, our third decrease here, this is the fourth decrease, the fifth decrease, and finally the sixth decrease. So we pull through these 2 loops and then pull through 2 each. So now we have almost closed the heart. So we just mark the first stitch, and after that, since we have a little bit of gap available here, we will stuff the filling into our heart here. So we can use the end of a crochet hook to push in the filling. So we after putting in the filling, we will use the hook to make sure that the edges of, that is the top part of the heart, is filled well, and on this side as well as on the other side also. So make sure to stuff in enough filling into it. Otherwise, if there is not enough filling inside the heart, then the shape will not look proper at the end. So we have entered enough on the 2 sides. Now we'll enter some more, because we still have to crochet one more round. So for this round we have 6 stitches, and we're going to make 3 decreases, which will include 2 stitches at a time. So first, here the first 2 stitches. So it's the first decrease, the second set of stitches, so our second decrease, and finally the last set. So here it's a little bit difficult to see, but you can figure it out. There will be 2 more stitches left. So we're going to make our last decrease here. So once you've made the last decrease, you can pull the yarn and trim it off, and then using a needle, we are going to stitch once at the edge, and then we're just going to push it through and take it out at one of the other end and pull it tightly, and after pulling it tightly we will trim off this yarn and then push this yarn back inside the heart. So here the heart is ready. You can use the hook or a needle to make the edges, to have the filling enter the edges as well. So here the heart is done. Now we are going to make the wings. So we start off by making a slip knot here, and after making the slip knot we are going to make a chain of 11. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11. So on the next stitch we're going to make a single crochet. So we're going to make single crochet over 9 stitches till we reach the last stitch. So here I am using a smaller yarn and my hook is also changed. I'm using a smaller hook. I'll leave the details in the description of what I have used. So in the last chain we are going to make 5 single crochets over it. So this is the first single crochet. Second single crochet, third, fourth and the fifth. So after that we are on the other side we are going to make 6 single crochets, and while making the 6 single crochets make sure to include the tail yarn also. So this is the second one, third one, fourth, fifth and finally the sixth. So trim off the extra tail yarn, and then we are going to make a chain 1 and then turn our work. So after turning our work we are going to make 11 single crochets over the next 11 stitches. Now on the 12th stitch we are going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and after that we are going to make 3 more single crochets in 3 of the stitches. So 1 in the first one, 2 in the second one and the third one in the third stitch. After that again we are going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch, and then again 2 more single crochets in the next stitch. Now we are going to make 4 single crochets till the tip of the wing. So the second one, the third one is at the top, almost the top stitch. Fourth one is almost at the back side. Next we are going to make a chain of 3, and then turn our work, and on the next stitch, that is the next chain, we are going to make one single crochet and one more in the next chain, so making 2 single crochet over 2 chains. After that, we are going to make 6 single crochet over the next 6 stitches. The second, third, fourth, fifth, and the sixth. And on the 7th stitch, we are going to make 2 single crochets in the same stitch. After that, we are going to make 15 single crochets. Next, we are going to chain 1 and turn our work, and then we are going to make 5 single crochet in the next 5 stitches. Third, fourth, and the fifth. And in the 6th one, we are going to make 2 single crochets. On the 7th one, we are going to make 1 single crochet. On the 8th one, we are going to make 2 single crochets. On the 9th one, we are going to make 1 single crochet, and on the 10th one, we are going to make 2 single crochet. So after that, we are going to make 15 single crochet till we reach the tip of the wing. After the 15th stitch, we are going to make a chain of 4 and then turn our work, and on the next chain we are going to make 1 single crochet. In the next one more single crochet, and 1 more single crochet in the last chain. So we have 3 single crochet over the chain, and then we are going to make 10 single crochet over 10 stitches. After the 10th stitch, we are going to make 2 single crochet in the same stitch, and then we are going to make 9 single crochets. So this is the last row, and after the 9th stitch, on the 10th stitch, we're going to make a slip stitch, and then we're going to chain 1 and then trim off the yarn. So we'll leave a long tail because we'll be stitching using this tail yarn. So we'll be making 2 wings using the same pattern, and here I'll teach you to stitch in one of the wing. In a similar manner you can stitch the other wing also. So using the tail yarn, we will just go back and forth into the heart and through the stitches of the wing, and at last the tail yarn, we can use a crochet hook or use a needle, and we can stitch it into the existing stitches. And finally the last bit of the tail yarn, you can pull it inside the heart and then tuck it in. So using a similar stitching pattern, we can stitch the other wing also. And here our heart with the wings is ready, and you can gift it to your loved one, and I'm sure they will really love it. I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial, and do subscribe to my channel and click on the bell icon for new notifications on new video, and give a thumbs up if you enjoyed this. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.